Hello, beautiful star seeds. Welcome back. Today, I decided to do a live video because life, things can get a little hectic sometimes, and I'm actually in the process of moving. So, with that being said, I do apologize for not posting and uploading a video last Friday. I'm going to try to at least do a live once a week. So if you don't see me uploading, I might just do a live instead, just to kind of counterbalance me moving everything within the next 2 to 3 weeks from now. So I will get back on a set schedule. But, anyways, enough of that. I did make some notes. So from time to time, if you see me looking down, it's just because I want to make sure I don't get off topic too much, since I am notorious for rambling and yada, yada, yada. With that being said, today I wanted to talk about speaking your truth, also shifting your timeline, and of course, with everything that's going on with the 5G and also the vaccinations, et cetera, et cetera. So, with that being said, I know when it comes to speaking your truth, it's not always easy. Sometimes you may find out that people may not like you anymore, or you may feel judged or even looked at differently compared to before. And with everything that's going on right now, there's a lot of people that are unfortunately being censored in social media or even YouTube just by speaking out about certain things that are happening right now at this very moment in time. So I just want to remind all of you guys that, we came here, we were birthed here on earth to be real, to be genuine, not to be people pleasers. So if you do feel like maybe something funky might be going on, or something may not be sitting right with you with, you know, the coronavirus conspiracy or 5G and all that, um, if you haven't watched my previous video, I talk about inviting you to do your own research and begin to question things, not because of what everyone else is saying, but just to kind of figure it out yourself. See what resonates with you. Always do your own research, be proactive, and if something doesn't sit well with you, maybe something might be going on. Who knows? At the end of the day, we're not always going to know the exact firm truth. Something may be going on, something may not be going on, but follow your intuition. I mean, we all have our intuition for a reason. It's just up to us to use it. And I know it's hard when you haven't really been used to proactively using that intuition plus doing some research at the same time. When you put both of those together, it's you begin to make more of a conscious decision or conscious judgment versus just believing hearsay, what someone may have told you or what you see on the news. So just be proactive, do your own research. And if you are one of those who you're already at that other level where you are actually speaking your truth and you're noticing, people may not be following you anymore on Instagram, or maybe you post stuff on Facebook or YouTube, and maybe, you've been a victim of the censorship that's going on. Don't let it get you down. At the end of the day, we all have to try to stay positive with everything that's going on. And I know it's hard, it's crazy, because there's only so much that we have control over, right? Especially when it comes to the externalities. So if there's chaos that is going around you, you may not have control over that. And that is okay. I mean, there's always going to be uncertainty. There's always going to be something that may not necessarily go our way or as planned, but just trust the process. Take a deep breath, take a step back, observe, go within. That is the best thing that you can do, because the minute you react, you are making decisions based on fear. You're no longer centered, you're no longer grounded, you're no longer in control of yourself. Instead, you let yourself be bombarded by everything that may be going on around you, and it may not be effective in a way. So, with that being said, you may also notice people who are awakening a lot. Maybe you're also going through your own awakening process, and it can be scary, but just know that you're not alone. So definitely hang in there, keep doing your research, keep going within, um, and be patient. Be patient with yourself, be patient with other people, because the beauty about, this great awakening that's going on, it's kind of like a two-sided coin, right? Of course, everything that's going on is not pleasant, but on the other hand, we also have other things that are happening. Like, a lot of people are starting to speak up, a lot of people are starting to question things, which is good, because we don't want to just give our power away. We are all sovereign beings, and we're meant to question. We're not we're not here just to be sheep. We're not here to just be followers. So it's really important to remember that, and don't steer away from it. And if you do, just come right back. Don't be too hard on yourself. So, um, sorry, I'm just looking at my notes because I was kind of going off tangent there. So, awakening is much like an alarm clock. We all awaken in different times of our lives. So, just imagine, are you a morning person? Do you get up at 4 a.m.? Maybe you get up at 6 a.m., maybe you wake up at noon. Who knows? The point is, we're all different. We all wake up at different times of the day. And it's the same thing with this spiritual awakening that's going on, this enlightenment that's going on. We're all waking up at different times, and the alarm clock has been going off, which is a really good thing. So, with that being said, just remember to go within, ground yourself, and don't let yourself be pulled away by this craziness. If you want to go online, if you want to watch the news and you want to check out what's going on, then go ahead and do so, but don't do it to the point where you get sucked into that fear based energy, which can be very draining, and it could also affect your immune system, because it's a lower vibration. So this is where I want to get into the topic of shifting your timeline. And a really good example of that would be, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but if you haven't, you can look it up on Amazon Prime. It's called Man in the High Castle. And the example that I want to give is, without giving too much away. So if you haven't seen it, don't worry. I'm not going to be spoiling anything for you, but I will just use a brief example. And in that show, what really caught my attention is that, um, the people, the citizens that are living within that show, they're very oppressed. They're living in a fear based type of energy. There's a lot of pain going on, a lot of suffering. And it's almost as if the government or the people who are in control want to keep those people in that vibration, because if they stay in that vibration, again, they don't want to bite the hand that feeds, right? So they become very dependent. And it's very interesting, because it's almost as if this is what's kind of going on with our society. But the only difference is that in that show, there are these videotapes, these recordings where it shows an alternate reality that these citizens are living in. So in real time, so in one reality, they're living within the suffering, pain, and all of that. And then on the other hand, they are free sovereign beings. They're very independent, and it's a positive, very different world in comparison to what they're living in. So what I want to say with that is, we all have to kind of go in within ourselves and start visualizing our new timeline. So you get to choose, what timeline do you want to be in? Do you want to be in the timeline of this fear-based mentality that we're having currently at this time? Or do you want to step away, kind of, still see what's going on, but in an observing manner? So you're not reacting, you're just observing, you're analyzing, you're watching, but you're also going within and trying to figure out, okay, does this resonate with me? Is this the type of frequency that I want to engulf myself in? Or do I want to be at a higher frequency where I see myself, not just myself, but you guys also see yourselves, your family, your friends, your loved ones, or anyone else that you know that may have been affected by all of this that's going on. Visualize and see them, see yourself, happy, healthy, and just kind of imagine, everything has already been said and done, and we're moving to the fifth dimension where it's more about love, it's more about positivity, it's more about letting go of this duality, about pain, suffering, and instead moving into love, moving into realizing that we are all connected, we are all one. Um, Another example that I actually wanted to give, it might be a little better than the man in the high castle now that I think about it, is, when I was in school, I studied psychology. And there's this one study, I can't remember the name of this psychologist. She did a test many years ago. I believe it was like in the 80s or the 90s. And what she did was she recorded these children. Some of them had disabilities. Some of them had like speech impediments. Others couldn't really walk properly without using like a walker or something, that way they wouldn't fall over. So what she did was she recorded each and every one of them individually. She had the person who had a speech impediment, just talk, just ask some questions, and they would just kind of talk. And then the other person, she had them just kind of walk back and forth. And then she hired someone to do the editing where it made it seem like everything was seamless. So, for instance, the person who had the speech impediment, because she had that person do the editing, it came out almost as if the person had no speech impediment at all. So they were speaking very clearly. And then the other person who was, had issues with walking, they edited it in a way where it looked like they were walking normally and just fine. And then what they did is they went back and they showed those videotapes to those two individuals. And because they were able to see it, they gained the confidence that, wow, that's me, but how? In that video, I'm actually speaking well, or in that video, I'm actually walking without having to use any type of support. And what it did, it gave them confidence and it made them believe, like, okay, I can reach that goal. I can attain that goal to be um, my best version, in other words. So, the point I'm trying to make with that is our minds are so powerful that it does not know and it can't tell between what's real and what's not. So if you close your eyes and you start imagining, let's say you imagine the ocean or a place that you really like to go to unwind and relax, or if you have a favorite type of food that you like, if you close your eyes and start envisioning it, I'm pretty sure your mouth might start salivating, or you might even be able to feel, the wind from the waves from the ocean kind of hitting your face and your hair. So that's just an example that even scientifically, it's been proven that if we see ourselves or if we imagine ourselves in a happier state of being and a happier state of mind, we can attain that. Of course, it may not always be instantaneous. It may take time, but eventually we will get there. So that's why I want to encourage everyone, with everything that's going on, especially with the 5G, I'm sure you guys have heard about, and of course the vaccination, supposedly that it's, I don't know, some kind of like activator. That I don't know how true that is, so I can't speak too much about it, but I do want to share, some of my thoughts, some of the research that I've been doing, and also combining it, with psychology and spirituality. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. One thing that I did forget to mention was, going back to the whole shifting your timeline through visualization and meditation, or anything that you can do to get your vibrations up. So maybe it's writing, maybe it's singing, maybe it's playing the guitar, swimming, riding your skateboard, whatever it is, just try to do that as much as you can. And when you get that feeling of, wow, this feels great, whatever you can do to make yourself feel good, do it. And the reason why I say that is because I want to promote positivity, and I don't want to be promoting too much of what's going on. So that's why I'm trying to be a little careful with my words, because I do want this video to reach as many people as possible, to motivate, and to empower others, because we can't continue to give our power away frivolously to others. That's our power. We have to continue to empower ourselves. We have to continue to educate ourselves. So my theory that I have, not just me, but I'm sure other people as well, so I can't take credit for that. But intuitively, I have this feeling that, with the whole 5G, because it's a frequency and it's a vibration, if you raise your own vibration, you won't be affected by it, you know? So that's why I want to encourage everyone to shift that timeline, start seeing yourself where you actually want to be, and don't worry about, okay, well, I need to do this and I need to do that in order to get there. Like, no. If you want to learn a little bit more about manifestations, unfortunately, I haven't done too many videos on them. I do have one where I talk about, blockages, what can actually hinder you from manifesting something. You can go ahead and check that out. I'll be sure to leave the link down in the description box below. If not, you can check out my videos. You can click on the spirituality section and you should be able to find the video there. But you can also look up other YouTubers. I personally watch Erin Dottie, Victor Odo, Lear Alexandra. What's her name? Can't believe I forgot her name, but she's great also. But, these are things that you can look up on your own. So one thing is, you just don't want to start thinking, okay, well, how am I going to get there? Like, don't worry about that. Just trust the process and just know that in due time, things are going to get better, little by little. It's kind of like the time of Atlantis. It was a great time during that time, and of course it did fall. And I feel like there's a duality that's going on, even with our certain situation that we're going through right now, as a whole, as a society, as the world. But we do have a choice, and I think if we all try to start envisioning what timeline we would like to live in, things will get better. We just all have to do our part. If you see someone that needs help, if you have a neighbor and for whatever reason they can't go to the store, just check up on them, and start doing things that promote positivity and love, and don't get too involved in the fear, the anger, um, and the lower vibrations that you may be seeing on the news. Because let's face it, even before this whole thing that's been happening, the news has never really been known for promoting, positivity. So just keep that in mind. And of course, you can take everything that I'm saying with a grain of salt. You don't have to just blindly accept everything that I'm saying, because that's not what I want you guys to do either. Um, Still do your own research, but also remember to energetically not let yourself get too involved with the fear-based energy. And if you do, just snap right back out of it. Don't let it hinder you. Don't let it get you down. So, with that being said, remember to speak your truth, even if your voice shakes. That is okay. And if people, little by little, they start not wanting to accept you or like you or whatever it may be, that's okay. It's like I said, we're all awakening at different times. Some of us at 4 a.m., some of us at noon, maybe 3 p.m. So just be patient with them and still show them love. And you can also love people at a distance. If you are around people that aren't so positive either, let's say you have that one person calling you and always telling you about the news, and oh, now this many people have had whatever. I'm not going to say it. You know what I'm talking about, though. Yeah, just distance yourself and still show them love. Self care is okay. It's not selfish. It's healthy. And I think if a lot of us practice a little bit more self-care, and if we were all a little more honest with ourselves and with other people, um, and I think we can get there. So I'm going to leave it right here. I'm at about 20 minutes already in. So I just want to thank you guys for your patience, for your support, for subscribing and watching my videos. Please give it a like if you're okay with today's live. And if you want me to do more lives, feel free to leave a comment below. If there's a certain topic you would like for me to talk about, make sure you leave a comment below. And I'll see you guys next time. Until then, let's grow together. All right. Bye, guys.